Aha, we are live, brothers and sisters, men and women. It is now still the 27th of October for 2 minutes, 26th of October, and then it will be the 27th. See, confuse myself. Friday night, the 26th, 2018, allegedly. That's that out of the way. Easy for me to say. Part two out of two, the history of Thoth, Hermes, and Enoch. Reference the Green Emerald Tablets 2018 must see. I have the material here. You don't need to see anything. If I go on other people's websites and use their materials and stuff, you know how it ends up. So I can do that for a little bit. But yeah, I'm just going to come on now for a wee while and read to you whilst doing a few other tasks. So you're on hands free. Whenever I go live, I always seem to get a frog in my throat. It's like it waits. That's all I can say. Anybody else that goes live? We are going to rewinding, repeating somewhat because I read out tablet one earlier to give those that was about a little bit of an indication of where we're going. And the Hermetic Principles tie into this, but we've already covered that previously. And yeah, I need Brother S on the scene at some point to tie in with the Mary Joseph part, Krishna, Kundalini. My goodness, I've just actually messaged Santos and says I've got a video here, mate. It's on the. If you look on video number one, I think I've put a post comment on for Santos. If you search Santos and Thoth, you'll find it. It says I want to see this full video with reference to pyramids and energy. Yo, this guy here says he made the pyramids. That's what I'm saying. This guy is saying that he was around, but this is this is not something to be taken lightly and to be scoffed at. You're telling me that he ruled Egypt, the land of Chem, Chem, for 14,000 years. He went around doing these megalithic blocks that are everywhere with the intricacy of laser cutting. Yeah, this man's got some technologies here. Chem, Enoch, Hermes. Get on to DuckDuckGo or anything that isn't the poo bull and do some searching on him whilst we have a chat. Then, if you've got another handset media device, type in for your search subject Hermes, Thoth, Enoch, and look at the results there. Then type them in singular and have a look at them. Then type in Green Emerald Tablets, Thoth. But yeah, I would urge you to type in Santos Emerald Tablets Thoth and watch that video of about 9 minutes. And my goodness, brother, this is why we love Brother Santos. This is why, yeah, I hear this and then I go out and research on my own. And there's too much in the mix here. We all need to pull together on this one, I'm afraid. And those that have got videos that can point me to the Emerald Tablets of Thoth or that have experience with it or the biblical prophecies of the Old Testament, the New Testament. I'm not going to get into these bits here because I have skimmed through both of these and I've got cognizance. The King James Bible, relevance, and judiciary realms. I have looked and I do know of and bondage, yes, and certain bits and bankers and usury. I've looked, I've got relevant, but not all. I'm going to tell you now. I don't read you the Bible word for word without it in front of me. I don't know all how to quote and that, but I am aware and we use it. We have used it and referenced it. I am not an expert in anything at all. I don't proclaim to be. I'm just having a chat. This is coming to you as news and politics, all right? Um, just big things. My last video, 1 hour, 1 hour, 10 seconds, and 1 hour, 10 minutes, 11 seconds. So 1 hour, 10 minutes is 1 hour, 1 hour, 10, 1 and 11 seconds. And I looked at it, I went 11, 11. I'm talking about many old a thing here. It's fixed atomically. It can't be broken. It's left here. As is. It cannot be. It defies all of the ionization. All the words ending in ion, iron. Yes, saturation. These shunt. I know it's weird and it may seem off topic, but to me. it's like these ion right. So atoms fixed, atomic structure, ionization. Sorry, but I'm a little indigo weirdo. You, that's why you love us and me and the things. But we can tangibly articulate fragmented bits that may not seem relevant at the time, but go forth and proceed anyway with the ionization. The fabric there, the material has been alchemic structure, alchemy using alchemic ways, which is Santos again. I'm sorry, it comes back to that, and full rising up of the pineal gland fluid, oil, um, pyramids, yes, building of energy, going up, flowing, scalar waves, Bosnia, new pyramid, what I've just posted, where he's been, Africa, 7 layers high, um, 14,000 years ruling, 36,000-year-old book. These stories here, right? We're going to read it again. I'm going to go back and read all 16 pages tonight. Now, then I'm having the weekend with the family, so I'm going to be forthright. I'm not at the screen. Spanners, tools, blue men group, blue man group. Do your job, please, and aid and abet and assist, and you will be rewarded with the unbelievable readings of. This is available on the internet now. You can go and get audiobooks of the Green Emerald Tablets of Thoth. They aren't written by me, all right. I've got them. I'm not going to get involved in copyright infringement, so we'll go and screen share in a bit. I've got lots I can show you, and I know how to do it now. My microphones are all good. So yeah, we're just going to read this. You're going to go and get a copy of it yourselves and have a look at it. This one, as I said, is the Doreal transcribe. Um, there are others that have done it, and you're welcome to get that. I have got others. This is the main one that goes around, so this is the main one I want to look at first. Um, yeah, and we're going to go. I'm just going to check the screen and let me check everything, and then I'm going to carry on with my few little tasks as I read. Yes, Nana Sid El Karachi ordered the Kabbalion. Anyone read that? Get in. City. Go profile of UK Dab. Love your mind, Indie. I love you too. Love it is all what? That's by the three initiates. Oh wow. This is deep. Man's going deep. Wow. We have to let me know. I've only got online versions and so forth and so on. What I've seen so far, the three initiates, the Kabbalion. Um, yeah, that's truly amazing. It's warped the very fabric of, but it is the very fabric, you see. So, oh, my other phone, I'm going to have to ignore that, I'm afraid. I'm going to prioritize. So here we go. Reading from page 1. I'm repeating what I said earlier, and we're working our way through. Let's hope I can make it, and you can too. The usual is required: comfiness, liquid, armchair, pen, maybe referencing, things like that, an alarm clock in case you fall asleep. Right, here we go. So, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, full text PDF. Stillness in the Storm was a website I mentioned earlier, and there was another one that I can't remember now. And then I've done another search, and I've just looked for other WordPress sites and sites that are talking about this, that have got this, relevant coverage, and the things that are related to it, the theory and practice of alchemy. Um, is what of what I've noticed here. Where and how these teachings were ultimately transmitted to humanity remains unclear, but the content of these writings stand as one of the most informally dense workings discussing universal law and consciousness. All right, so that's the law part for you. That's why we went, what law? We already use these laws. So, in my view, the content presented essential reading for awakening individual souls, man. Yes, and his principles spoken have been understood completely. They will provide an essential backdrop to unify all information into a holistic framework. Um, you need to look at Atlantean technology. That's going to be related into this because of the Atlantean. You'd love to look, I've said emerald tablets, tetrahedron, Thoth, Tetrahedron, tetrahedron. All right. Yeah. Thoth, cause and effect, as above, so below. The Kabbalion, which we're on with then, yeah, you've got that and you're doing whatever you need to get that. You can get PDF versions for free. Don't be, going out and just getting, I don't want to be held responsible to around, India, I've got all these books and they're crap. What am I supposed to do with them? All right, yeah. We get off with Emerald Tablet 1. This will be a repeat from what I said earlier. Let's just crack on, Dave. Stop gabbing. You've got too many words to say. Why are you adding more to thousands that you already have to say? You are a nincompoop.
Yeah, no.
Emerald Tablet, number 1. The history of Thoth, the Atlantean. Now that's Hermes, Thoth, and Enoch, all right? That's why I've said that at the beginning. We just call him Thoth. Thoth the Atlantean, master of mysteries, keeper of records, mighty king, magician, living from generation to generation, being about to pass into the halls of Amenti, set down for the guidance of those that are to come after. These records of the mighty wisdom of great Atlantis in the great city of Kio on the island of Undal, in time far past, I began this incarnation, not as the little men of the present age did the mighty ones of Atlantis live and die, but rather from eon to eon did they renew their life in the halls of Amenti, where the river flows, oh, the river of life flows eternally onward. 100 times 10 have I descended the dark way that led into light, and as many times have I ascended from the darkness into the light, my strength and power renewed. Now for a time I descend on the men of Khem, Khem, shall know me no more. But in a time yet unborn will I rise again, mighty and potent, requiring an accounting of those left behind me. That bit really does interest me. Then beware, O men of Khem, if ye have falsely betrayed my teaching, listen to these words, for I shall cast ye down from your high estate into the darkness of the caves, from whence ye came. Betray not my secrets to the men of the north or the men of the south. Right, Egypt was basically, it's in the middle of the landmass. It's not in the middle of the continent Earth, right? Okay, Earth's geographical landmass. When you look at the map, it's not in the middle, but it's in the middle of the landmass. So GMT should be not London GMT, but Egypt, Cairo GMT, because that's the center of the landmass where it should all work from, but it doesn't. So Egypt is in the center of the landmass. This pyramid was built in the center of the landmass in Cairo, of the actual, I'm not going too deep into it, but so. Where he's saying my secrets to the men of the north or the men of the south, right? This place is actually bang center jackpot in the middle of. So, lest my curse fall upon ye, remember and heed my words, for surely I will return again and require of thee which ye guard. All right, returning again, Jesus, the one, the saint. Like, I'm not going to go into too many things, but we'll just say Jesus returning. All right, and he's going to return again. This is before the Bible. I, even from beyond time and from beyond death, will I return, rewarding or punishing as ye have required your trust. Great were my people in the ancient days, great beyond the conception of the little people now around me, knowing the wisdom of old, seeking far within the heart of infinity, knowledge that belonged to earth's youth. Ay, ay, ay. Too many wires here. Remove the string. Wise were the wise were we within the wisdom of the children of light who dwelt among us. Strong were we with the power drawn from eternal fire, and all these great amongst the children of men, not the children of people, but the children of men, was my father. Thought me, keeper of the great temple, link between the children of light who dwelt within the temple and the races of men who inhabited the 10 islands. Mouthpiece, after the three of the dweller of Unal, speaking to the kings with the voice that must be obeyed, grew I there from a child into manhood, being taught by my father the elder mysteries, until in time there grew within the fire of wisdom until it burst into a consuming flame. Naught desired I but the attainment of wisdom, until on a great day the command came from the dweller of the temple that I be brought before him. Few there were among the children of men who had looked upon the mighty face and lived. For not as the sons of men are the children of light when they are not incarnate in a physical body. Chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dweller, so that his purpose might be fulfilled, purposes yet unborn in the womb of time. All right. Wow. Long ages I dwelt in the temple, learning ever and yet ever more wisdom, until I too approached the light emitted from the great fire. Taught me he the path to Amenti. All I'm seeing when I see Amenti, because I'm dyslexic, is that Italian biscuit and amaretto. And I'm so wanting to say amaretto. If I do say amaretto, I'm apologizing now. So want to say amaretto when I see Amenti. Arriba, ay, ay, ay. The underworld where the great king sits upon his throne of might. Deep, I bowed in homage before the lords of life and the lords of death, receiving as my gift the key of life. Free was I of the halls of Amenti, bound not by death to the circle of life. Far to the stars I journeyed until space and time become as naught. What? Then, having drunk deep of the cup of wisdom, I looked cup, wisdom, chalice, cup. What's that? Cup. Yeah, think of that cup. What's that? Yeah. It's called what? There's a cup there somewhere in the faith, isn't there, that they say is they drink from the cup of. Yeah, so space and time become as naught. Then, having drunk deep of the cup of wisdom, I looked into the hearts of men, and I found greater mysteries, and was glad. He was glad, okay, for only in search for the truth could my soul be stilled and the flame within be quenched. Down through the ages I lived, seeing those around me taste the cup of death and return again in the light of life. Reincarnation, gradually from the kingdoms of Atlantis, past waves of consciousness that had been one with me, only to be replaced by the spawn of a lower star. Lower star, all right. In obedience to the law, the word of the master grew into flower, downward into darkness, turned the thoughts of the Atlanteans, until at last, in his wrath, arose from his aguanti, the dweller. This word has no English equivalent. It means state of detachment. Speaking the word, calling the power deep in earth's heart. The sun, deep in earth's heart. It's actually written Yorkshire there. I'm not just speaking Yorkshire sometimes. It is. They haven't got the grammar punctuation that you're accustomed to with the New Times Roman, Oxford, Chicago styles, format, font, printing. So when you hear me speaking and you think Aop is doing his Yorkshire twang again, it is actually written by that where it says, yeah. All right then. So the word calling the power deep in earth's heart, the sons of Amenti heard and hearing directed the changing of the flower of fire. Directed the changing of the flower of fire. Now the sun has changed direction. Could the sun change direction? Are they on about the flowering of fire? Directed the changing of the flower of fire that burns eternally, changing and shifting, using the Logos. Santos, hello again. He's the one that I've heard speak about this mostly, and other documentations. I've seen it written down, but using the Logos, that's an important reference to everything. Stop the clock. What? Logos? This guy, such things as. So until that great fire changed its direction over the world, then broke the great waters, drowning and sinking, changing Earth's balance until only the temple of light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal. Where did he go up to Thingy to get the Ten Commandments? Mount Sinai, Moses. So we carry on there. Only the Temple of Light was left standing on the great mountain of Undal, still rising out of the water. Some there, some there were who were living, save from the rush of the fountains, called to me. Then the Master saying, gather ye together, my people. All right then. So he's gathering them together. Take them by the arts ye have learned of far across the waters, until ye reach the land of the hairy barbarians dwelling in caves of the deserts. Said that earlier, it sounded like a Blakely Tepe or something like that to me, somewhere Turkey, or I don't know. Yeah, very Asian and Dubai. Dwelling in caves of the desert, follow them there the plan that ye know of. Gathered I then my people and entered the great ship of the master. Upward we rose into the morning. Dark beneath us lay the temple. Suddenly over it rose the waters, vanished from earth until the time appointed was the great temple. Fast we fled towards the son of the fast we fled and towards the sun of the morning until beneath us lay the land of the children of Chem. Raging they came with cudgels and spears lifted in anger, seeking to slay, utterly destroy the sons of Atlantis. Then I raised my staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks as fragments of stones. This is what they've seen, shown you this on Stargate. To be fair, this was a little bit like Stargate was a little bit, episodes of Stargate where they had some people with staffs and a ball on it. Chat room, Stargate fans, Indigos. Episodes thingy linkages of I'm referencing this too, that where he's saying that he's come down and the children of Chem raging, so he's come down, and that's a bit Egyptian-y type. The Stargate SG-1. I'm not thinking of. Let me think. Was it on the? No, it was actually on Stargate with the Scottish guy that they cost too much money and they broke the budget, or they stopped filming because they were getting too close to the bone. Um, Robert Carlyle. Yeah, those ones. SG-1, and after SG-1, you had Stargate. Enterprise, Face Fan Booktube, you know the one. There was another one, Millennium. It was on the Sky channels. So yeah, they had some stick people on that with the balls on, and they were quite hard to beat. But um, raised my staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks as fragments of stone of the mountain. Then fragments of stone, striking them still in their tracks. There's a story in the Bible about turning folk to stone, like in the mountain. Then spoke I into them in words calm and peaceful, telling them of the might of Atlantis, saying, we were children of the sun and its messengers. Cowed I them by my display of magic science, until at my feet they grovelled when I released them. Children of the sun. The sun is in the head, the moon is down, but yeah, it's mapped out as Santos will show you. Long dwelt we in the land of Chem, long and yet long again, until obeying the commands of the Master, who while sleeping yet lives eternally, I sent from the sons of Atlantis, sent them in many directions, that from the womb of time wisdom might rise again in her children. Wow, what a story. Long time dwelt I in the land of Chem, doing great works by the wisdom within me. Upward grew into the light of knowledge the children of Chem, watered by the rains of my wisdom. Blasted I then a path to Amenti, so that I might retain my powers, living from age to age, a son of Atlantis, keeping the wisdom, preserving the records. Great grew the sons of Chem, conquering the people around them, growing slowly upwards in soul force. Now for a time I go from among them into the dark halls of Amenti, deep in the halls of the earth, deep in the halls of earth, before the lords of the powers, face to face once again with the dweller, raised I high over the entrance, a doorway, a gateway leading down to Amenti. Few there would be with courage to dare it. Few passed the portal to dark Amenti, raised over the passage. I, a mighty pyramid, using the power that overcomes forth earth force gravity. Now look at that. Look at that. How old this is, and they're talking about overcoming earth force gravity. And you got Neil deGrasse Tyson, who will tell you all about gravity. He will, yeah. Um, the cause and effect of the Hermetic Principles, and certain other bits and bobs that we're finding out about is, pardon me, is interesting to say the least, of the the magnetic, the plasma, telling her what he's coming out with the studies there, and the references actually to the universe in itself, and how it all works. Just let me roll this, and then I can concentrate on the page, and I can have a smoke and a read and sit down and pass the night away. Get to bed by, what time are we on? Time check, 12:30. It's going to be till 2 p.m. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Easy. And then we're going to have some further studies later on. I just want to get this down and get it onto video, that's all. It's just another little job done. One minute, literally 30 seconds. Get a drink, readjust. We are continuing. Bosh. Gotta stop saying that. Deep and yet deeper placed I a force, house or chamber. From it carved one, a circular passage reaching almost to the great summit. Yes, that reminds me of a passage in the pyramid, to be fair. There in the apex set one the crystal, set I the crystal, sending the ray into the time space, drawing the force from out of the ether. Now that's deep. That just rolls off the tongue, to be fair, but that's got some deep connotations to it, right? I don't know if you're following it or if you've managed to get a download, but yeah, going up to the ether. Concentrating up on the gateway to Amenti, see the Great Pyramid by Doreal. Other chambers I built up left vacant to all, seeming yet hidden within them, and the keys to Amenti. He who in courage would dare the dark realms, let him be purified first by long fasting. Lie in the sarcophagus of stone in my chamber, then to reveal I to him the great mysteries. Crystal sarcophagus of stone, maybe? Soon shall we follow to where I shall meet him. Even in the darkness of earth shall I meet him. I, Thoth, Lord of wisdom, meet him and hold him and dwell with him always. Built I the great pyramid, patterned after the pyramid of earth force, burning eternally, so that it too might remain through the ages in it. I built my knowledge of magic science so that it might be here when again I return from Amenti. While I sleep in the halls of Amenti, my soul roaming free will incarnate, dwell among men in this form or another. Hermes, thrice born, emissary on earth. What's that? Thrice born. He's been what? Reincarnate 3 times. Jesus being reincarnate, you know what I mean? And living again. We continue on. Emissary on earth. Am I of the dweller, fulfilling his commandments or commands, so man might be lifted? Now return I to the halls of Amenti, leaving behind me some of my wisdom. Preserve ye and keep ye the command of the dweller. Lift ever upwards your eyes towards the light. Surely in time ye are one with the Master. Surely by right ye are one with the Master. Surely by right ye are one with the All. Now I depart from ye. Know my commandments, keep them and be them. It's getting scary, isn't it? Scarily similar. And I will be with you, helping and guiding you into the light. Now before me opens the portal. Go I down into the darkness of night. Tablet 1 of 16, done. Emerald Tablet 2, the halls of Amenti. Deep in the earth's heart lies the halls of Amenti, far near the islands of sunken Atlantis. Halls of the dead and halls of the living dead, bathed in the fire of the infinite all. Sounds like hell then, doesn't it, in another book? Far in a past time, lost in the space-time, the children of light look down on the world See the children of men in their bondage, bound by the force that came from beyond. Bondage. No, they knew they that only by freedom from bondage could man ever rise from the earth to the sun. Down they descended and created bodies, taking the semblance of men as their own. The masters of everything said, and their forming, we are they who were formed from the space dust, partaking of life from the infinite all, living in the world as children of men, like and yet unlike the children of men. Then for a dwelling place far neath the earth crust, blasted great spaces, they by their power, spaces apart from the children of men, surrounded them by forces and power, shielded from harm, the halls of the dead. Side by side, then placed they other spaces, filled them with life and with light from above. Builded they then the halls of Amente, that they then might dwell eternally there, living with life to eternity's end. Trinity and two were there of the children, sons of light, who had come among men, seeking to free from bondage of darkness those who were bound by forces from beyond. Halls, deep in the halls of life grew a flower, flaming, expanding, driving backward the night. Placed in the center of placed in the center a ray of great potence, life-giving, light-giving, filling with power all who came near it. Placed they around it thrones, 32 places for each of the children of light. Sounds like a lotus flower. Placed so that they were bathed in the radiance, filled with the life of the eternal light. There time after time placed they their first created bodies, so that they might be filled with the spirit of life. 100 years out of each 1,000 must the life-giving light flame forth on their bodies, quickening, awakening the spirit of life. There in the circle from eon to eon sit the great masters, living a life not known among men. There in the halls of life they lie sleeping. Free flows their soul through bodies of men, time after time, while their bodies lie sleeping, incarnate in the bodies of men, teaching and guiding onward and upward out of the darkness into the light. There in the hall of life, filled with their wisdom, not known to the races of man, living forever neath the cold fire of life. Sit the children of light. Times there are when they awaken, come from the depths to be lights among men, infinite they among finites. He who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into the light. Free is he made of the halls of Amente, free of the flower of light and of life. Guided he then by wisdom and knowledge passes from man to the master of life. There he may dwell as one with the masters, free from the bonds of the darkness of night. Sealed within the flower of radiance sit seven lords from the space-time above us, helping and guiding through the infinite wisdom the pathway through the time of the children of men. Mighty and strange, they veiled with their power, silent all-knowing, drawing the life force, different yet one with the children of men. Aye, different and yet one with the children of light, custodians and watchers of the force of men's bondage. Shut up, custodians, custodian trustee. Woof, I can't even. Custodians and watchers of the force of man's bondage, ready to lose when the light has been reached. First and most mighty sits the veiled presence, Lord of Lords, the infinite nine, over the others from each cosmic cycle, weighing and watching the progress of men. Under he sits the lords of the cycles 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, each with his mission, each with his power, guiding, directing the destiny of man. There sit they, mighty and potent, free of all time and space, not of this world they, yet akin to it. Elder brothers, they of the children of men, judging and weighing they with their wisdom, watching the progress, light among men. There before them was I led by the dweller, watched him behind with one from above. Then he came forth a voice saying, Great art thou, Thoth, among children of men, free henceforth of the halls of Amenti, master of life among. Next page. Master of life among children of men, taste not of death, except thou will it. Drink thou of life to eternity's end. Henceforth forever is life thine for the taking. Henceforth is death at the call of thy hand. Dwell here or leave here when thou desireth. Free is Amente to the Son of Man. S-U-N, Son of Man. Take thou up life in what form thou desireth, children of the light that hath grown amongst men. Choose thou thy work, for all souls must labour. Never be what? For all souls must labour. Oh, did I? Never be free from the pathway of light. One step thou hast gained on the long pathway upward. Infinite now is the mountain of light. Each step thou taketh, but heightens the mountain of all thy progress, but lengthens the goal. Approach ye ever the infinite wisdom, ever before these recedes the goal, ever before thee recedes the goal. Free are ye made now of the halls of Amente to walk hand in hand with the lords of the world, one in one purpose, working together, bringers of light to the children of men. Then from his throne came one of the masters, taking my hand and leading me onward through the halls of the deep hidden land. Wow. Led he me through the halls of Amente, showing the mysteries that are known not to man. Through the dark passage downward he led me to the hall where sits the dark death. Vast as space lay the great hall before me. What is this? The great, right, filled with light before me, vast as space as the great hall before me, walled by darkness, but yet filled with light. Before me arose a great throne of darkness, veiled on it, sealed a figure of night. Darker than the darkness sat the great figure, dark with the darkness not of the night. Before it then paused the master speaking the word that brings about life, saying, O Master of darkness, guide of the way from life unto life. Before thee I bring a son of the morning. Touch him not ever with the power of night. Call not his flame to the darkness of night. Know him and see him, one of our brothers, lifted from darkness into the light. Release thou his flame from its bondage. Free one of our brothers lifted from darkness into the light. Free thou his flame from bondage. Free let its flame through the darkness of night. Raised then the hand of the figure, forth came a flame that grew clear and bright, rolled back swiftly the curtain of darkness, unveiled the hall from the darkness of night, then grew in the great space before me, flame after flame from the veil of the night. Unaccounted millions leaped they before me, some flaming forth as flowers of fire, others were that shed in a dim radiance, glowing but faintly out from the night. Some there were that faded swiftly, others that grew from a small spark of light, each surrounded by its dim of veiled darkness, yet flaming with the light that could never be quenched, coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they the space with light and with life. Let's just take a breath a minute and envisage that before I go on. Let's just picture that. That's a nice picture, that. Thinking of something like James Cameron, that film of the aliens. Is it James Cameron? Avatar-y type, neon-y type, space type thingy there, aren't you? That's what I'd have in my head. Painting a picture with words, this is. Each surrounded by its dimmer, got that bit, yeah, going and fading. That could never be quenched, coming and going like fireflies in springtime, filled they the space with light and with life. Then spoke a voice mighty and solemn, saying, These are lights that are souls among men, growing and fading, existing forever, changing yet living through death into life. When they have bloomed into flower, reached the zenith of growth in their life, swiftly then send I my veil of darkness, shrouding and changing to new forms of life, steadily upward throughout the ages, growing, expanding yet into greater flame, lighting the darkness with yet greater power, quenched yet unquenched by the veil of the night. So grows the soul of man ever upward, quenched yet unquenched by the darkness of night. I, death, come, and yet I remain not, for life eternal exists in the all. Only an obstacle I in the pathway, quick to be conquered by the infinite light. Awaken, O flame that burns ever inward, flame forth and conquer the veil of the night. Let me just go this way a minute. I need to check on something. There's a noise. I always investigate the noises. Okay, very good. It's about death. That was a bit unexpected. Then in the midst of the flames in the darkness grew there one that drove forth the night, flaming, expanding ever brighter, until at last was nothing but light. Then spoke my guide, the voice of the Master, see your own soul as it grows in the light, free now forever from the Lord of the night. Forever he led me through many great spaces filled with the mysteries of the children of light. Mysteries that man may never yet know of until he too is a son of the light. Backward then he led me into the light of the hall of the light. Knelt I before the great masters, lords of all from the cycles above. Spoke he then with words of great power, saying, Thou hast been made free of the halls of Amenti. Chose thou thy work, choose thou thy work among the children of men. Then spoke I, O great master, let me be a teacher of men, leading them onward and upward until they too are lights among men, freed from the veil of the night that surrounds them, flaming with light that I shall shrine among men. Spoke to me then the voice, Go as ye will, so it be decreed. Master are ye of your destiny, free to take or reject at will. Take the power, take ye wisdom, shrine as a light among the children of men. Upward then led the dweller, dwelt I again among the children of men, teaching and showing some of my wisdom. Wow. Son of the light, a fire among men. Now again I tread the path downward, speaking the light in the darkness of night. Hold ye and keep ye, preserve my record. Guide shall it be to the children of men. That's the end. What do you reckon about that? Wish I could see the chat room now. That's some deep. I'll look at the live chat afterwards. Do you want to go on for tablet 3? I think we've got time for tablet 3. I'm not going to read all of this tonight. There is no chance of that. It's 10 to 1. We'll go for tablet 3. You can go and read them at your leisure as you want, but I'm interested for what you think as we read it together, or as you read it or as you catch up and come back. Depends on which bit you catch me on, which part. So part two was part two. I was going to stop each video, and then do part three, part four, and part five. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to carry on doing the video, and then split the video, because that's just annoying. Fellow YouTubers, you know what I mean. That's why we have hangout chats. Anybody wants to come on and say something, let me know. I could actually have somebody on the hangout to come and chat. Otherwise, we're going to end it, and then I'll go part three maybe tomorrow or something. Every day of the week, squeeze a part in till it's done. What we're saying. Let me check things. Hello, hello. I just thought then I've been on mute all that time. I was going to come to a chat room laughing at me. Or empty, 12 of you. Good morning. Lindsay, GoPro, Lev, Nonna. What are we saying? How are we all? Lev, Steve, aye aye. Families getting to know each other. Truly incredible. The works of the Emerald Tablet. What I might do is read them, do them all private, and then release them afterwards, because it doesn't seem fair having a chat room just for a short time reading. However long this is for, well, short time for me. But yeah, we'll say ciao then. If nobody wants to come on, have a chat, and you've got a lot to catch up with there, I'm going to get off and ring Matthew in Sheffield. Thank you very much for part two of two, the history of Thoth, Hermes, and Enoch, the green emerald tablets. Wow. Thank you very much. Ciao, Bello. Peace and love.